guys, I have endometriosis and a journey. So I wanted to make one video and one video only of my diagnosis, the things I've tried that have helped, and what I've settled on. I thought it was normal to have debilitating pain when you're on your period. The time when I was 18, had a really terrible period. They did a ultrasound because they thought maybe I had cysts, and then they put me on birth control. First, I tried one that was like a continual one where I'd have a period like every 4 months. My sister claimed that made me crazy, but I was also 19 years old and engaged. But I did switch from that, and then I went to the generic version of Yaz. I think it was called Biaz. I took that for 7 years and I had no problem. At this time in life, I did not yet know that I had endometriosis. Then I had trouble getting pregnant with my second baby. So I went to a fertility doctor. This was the doctor who was like, I am pretty sure you have endometriosis. Her conclusion was because I have a family member with confirmed endometriosis who ended up having to have a hysterectomy, and then I was having trouble getting pregnant, and then also the really painful period. After the second baby, I was like, you know what, let's just see what my body is like off of birth control. I was literally like, I always say vertical, just horizontal, like taking the max dose of ibuprofen, taking the max dose of Tylenol, and I still had cramps that were painful where I was like laying down. And I was like, this is not sustainable. Like I literally can't do this. So I did go on Nancy's Nook. I met with both of the endometriosis specialists in my area. So nice, so cool. And he was like, come back whenever and I'll do whatever you want. If you want to get a hysterectomy, if you want to do an excision surgery, do whatever you want. But since my endometriosis pain is only during my periods, he's like, I think it makes sense for you to start with like the most non-intrusive and see if that can work for you. So I tried taking Slint. I literally had a panic attack and went to the ER, and I was like, please give me some medications, and they were nice, so they did. So yeah, did not even last a week on Slint. So I was like, can I actually just go back to the birth control that I was on before I had kids? So he put me back on the generic BS. And then he's like, just take it continuously and you'll never have a period. And I was like, why did no one tell me about this? I could have been skipping my periods this whole time. I then had a migraine every 2 weeks for like 6 months. And about a month ago, I saw a new OB who they said was really good with hormones, because I'm like, well, maybe it's my hormones that are causing the headaches. And she was like, no, actually, I think it most likely is the estrogen in your birth control. So you should probably try a birth control without estrogen. So for about a month now, I've been taking a birth control that does not have any estrogen. And I would say for the first week, I had really intense GI issues. But now I literally feel like it cured me because I'm drinking an iced chai, something that typically would be like sending me. And I'm like, this is delicious and I'm fine. But IBS symptoms and your hormones are really connected. I have not had any headaches. I do feel slightly more ragey, but I'm also not going to read into that because it's summer and I have 2 little kids at home. Plus I do like a million jobs. I'm writing a romance novel. I'm a therapist. I create social media content. Anyway, this is a hormonal birth control pill fan account. So many horror stories. Don't be scared of it. If you get on Reddit and you read things, think about it. Who goes on Reddit? People who are upset, people who are mad, people who have good experiences aren't typically running to Reddit to be like, I love this birth control. Over anything else, doctor. Okay, I hope that helps. Have a good day.